Let's go!
For those that don't know what's going on, there was a really expansive multiplayer mod coming out for Modern Warfare Remastered on PC called H2M, effectively turning a Modern Warfare Remastered on PC Call of Duty into Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. Weapons, like everything, movement. The game was effectively getting turned into, from fans, a huge visual boost and a ton of other stuff, upgrade. Kind of the Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer that we were looking for instead of like new Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, which was in MW3, which was fine, but not great. So it looked really exciting. Like, wow, we get the craziness of MW2 finally with a good looking package and all of this shit. That's really cool. So it was about to come out and it had been teased and people had been testing it and all of this stuff was happening. And right as it was about to come out, the makers of the mods got cease and desisted from Activision, telling them to pull it and not distribute it at all. And that's weird because it was still requiring you to buy Modern Warfare Remastered. It was still requiring you to pay Activision money to get a game, but it was the fact that that game was going to be modified, right? So I've had a lot of people want to hit me up because, hey, Max is doing the exact same thing. I'm doing the exact same thing for a different kind of game on the opposite end of the spectrum. So I respect that. I mean, thank you. But here's my understanding of this whole situation. Not everything is black and white when it comes to this stuff. Not everything is like this way or that way. Activision and the way it's handled their intellectual IP, because they are so big, is very specific. They sort of have like a similar hammer to nail approach that it comes to like Nintendo properties. They sort of work the same way. Why am I not surprised? I'm gonna tell you. Granted, not advertising it, all that kind of stuff. I get it. But still, a lot of people were pretty excited. And granted, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm 99% sure you can find it in some way. On a mass level distribution, probably not available. Why am I not surprised? And why, when I saw that, was I so surprised that, oh, wow, you're really willing to mod Call of Duty? That's crazy. Here's what was in my head, and I didn't want to say anything at the time because these things were entering my head. That seems scary to me because modern Call of Duties, if not also Modern Warfare Remastered, have worked on a specific monetization and distribution model that engage skin buying, that engage the purchase of cosmetics and all of this kind of stuff. Call of Duty has actively gone out of their way for the past 5-ish years to try to get you to engage with a centralized hub of information and a centralized hub like a game hub where all of these skins and everything are shared between stuff. They're trying to like Fortnite it, right? So why am I not surprised that H2M was taken down? Because this literally is an interrupter to their money flow. There is a good chance that a ton of people that would be really, really big fans of old school Modern Warfare, people like me, which is why I'm excited about it, would have gone out and been like, hey, you know, fucking A, I want to check that out. In Activision's mind, that is actively taking money away from them. They want you to not engage with their older Call of Duties as much. They want you to engage with their other stuff that is recently monetizable and their skins and everything like that, right? They've done stuff like this before as well. So when I heard that it was taken down, it was more like, God damn it, because it did look really exciting. But I'm not surprised because this was actively an interrupter to their cash flow. And don't get me wrong, like, I think you still needed to buy Modern Warfare, which still gives them money, but they want more money than the asking price of a game. You have to understand the point of this stuff is that they want you to go into their current games and buy skins and shit. And then they want to release a new version of that game and take away all your skins so that you have to buy new skins all over again. That is actually how their shit works. So getting a huge amount of the player base, or at least a chunk, 10,000 people, whatever, a few thousand people, away from their current monetization practices seems like, oh, that's what they would do. That's exactly what they would do. Granted, I absolutely do not know what the situation is right now, but I guarantee you can probably play it. But streaming it, making content of it, actively engaging with a community of some kind and like building that community and stuff, you are going to get fucking attacked by Activision. So I can't stream it. I can't really make any videos on it. They'll literally come after us Project M style, because that encourages people to go out and find the files and download it. They nuked it, dude. And that's what's bullshit, is that it'll be aggressively hard to build communities and make videos and do that kind of stuff, because it is impacting their intellectual property. Granted, when all this other stuff happens, when mods get pulled down, did it prevent everybody from playing Project M 10 years ago? No. People were still playing it. You can still play it, but could you stream it? Could you make videos of it? No, dude. Nintendo was down your fucking throat. Couldn't even play it on Twitch without people literally getting banned off the site. It was like, whoa. That's the kind of situation we're in right now. I have dealt with Activision Legal before. I'm not getting into that shit again. It's all complete bullshit. It's absolute ass because they were still making money. I was about to literally go buy Modern Warfare Remastered on PC. I was about to go buy it. Bringing this back around. Why is this relevant to me? Polish? Well, hey, we're doing the exact same fucking thing to a different game. We're quite literally doing the exact same thing on the opposite end of the spectrum in the gaming sphere. So a lot of people, as soon as this was canceled, immediately were hitting me up and saying, oh, there goes Max's project too, it's over. And I would say that yes, on an outside level, it would be kind of scary that like our shit's gonna get taken down. But as I said, these projects are not black and white. One gets taken down, the others get taken down, yada, yada, yada. There's one big difference. We are not interrupting the cash flow of Capcom or Marvel games. We're not. In fact, I've been trying to emphatically tell people, you need to go buy MVCI. You got to go buy it. You have to go buy the DLC. You have to go buy the base game. You need to purchase the core game of MVCI if you want to enjoy our mod. And a lot of people have. You know, a lot of people have. There is no discernible active monetization on old Marvel vs. Capcom games anymore. There really isn't. You can either just buy it or not buy it. In my head, when we were first talking about how we would distribute this mod and how it would work, granted, the things I'm saying could suddenly be complete horseshit and not true, and we can get C&D'd at any time. However, I would also like to tell you that any videos I make about any video game, anytime I stream any video game, anybody streams any video game, anybody makes content about fucking anything, I'd like to tell you that the people that own the properties and are the IP holders of all of that shit are completely within their legal right to take you down. Anything you make, literally anything you make, which is the problem with DMCA. Which is why it's old, archaic shit from the 90s. That you make anything, you just create a general gameplay, they are completely within their legal right to take you to court and take your shit down. You can go back to court and argue it, and argue fair use, but you have to convince a jury that the fair use actually applies here. And not all the time does that shit win. Not all the time does that eventually go through. Ultimately, a lot of these companies stay away from that, and I'd like to remind people that there was a company that did this shit to its audience early in the mid-2010s. In the mid-2010s, a company was aggressively going after everyone that was making gameplay videos or any kind of gameplay featuring characters from their properties, and they were absolutely huge. Yes, I'm glad I'm not the only one that forgot this. It was Nintendo. Nintendo, you could not make videos of Nintendo games. At the time, Nintendo had an agreement where you became like a Nintendo partner and you would share revenue with them of their IPs and stuff. Any kind of videos, anything that featured that stuff. That still can happen, mind you. That still could happen, but you had to be a partner and you got a portion of the revenue that video earned. For anybody that doesn't know, that didn't fly super well. It did not go over in a very good way. So they kind of like steered away from that and didn't go as hard. At the exact same time, they were also going nuts over Project M, trying to take everything Project M down. So whatever the hell was happening at NOA or Nintendo Japan around that time frame 10 years ago, they were going super hard on their intellectual IP properties protection. People were really like, ooh, we're coming after you type shit. It's like, whoa, okay. And Nintendo is still very weary about this stuff all over the place. They're still not like, you know, easy to work with in this regard, but at least you can put up videos of Smash Brothers and shit and modded Smash and be fine with it. Again, I have to remind people about something. Smash mods. I have to remind people that this shit exists and like uploaded literally daily or over the past year, multiple years. The era of people playing Smash Brothers and having severely modified Smash Brothers either on their own hardware or through emulation has been a thing that has been going on for so goddamn long it will blow your mind. 1.1 million views from the Smash Brothers mod that will destroy your Wii. Like, this is a thing that has been going on for a very long time. Did Nintendo take all of this shit down? They didn't. This has just existed for the longest time. Nintendo knows this shit existed. This is something that I have to remind people of. All we're doing with our relationship with Capcom and Marvel, all I want to do with my relationship to Marvel vs. Capcom with MVCI, as well as the people that own the properties in these games, Marvel and Capcom, all I want to do is sell copies of your game. That is the goal. I want to build the MVCI community that is so paltry and small. I want to get more people playing their game, buying the DLC for their game, and get them online fighting each other. That is the whole point. And I also have to remind people that another mod exists for a Capcom game that has been around for a very long time. And that mod severely changes the way the whole game works, the way the entire game flow exists, and is also a mod that only works online with other people that have the same mod, and is for Capcom's best-selling game of all time. It's Monster Hunter World, and it's called Monster Hunter Ice Mod. It is still distributed. It has never been taken down. It just runs. Guess why it just runs? Because Ice Mod might have actually sold more copies of the game. It might actually be making Capcom money in the long run. So again, Capcom's gotten a lot of flack for their mod stuff, but there's two general rules that I am following with this project, as well as how I understand Capcom mods to work. I'm not making any characters naked, I'm sorry, and I have no plans to sell this shit. We don't have a Patreon. I am funding everything of anyone doing any work myself. And when it's distributed, it's going to be completely free. So, no money involved, no Chun-Li naked, no Marvel characters naked. All those things are very important, because when you suddenly have naked Capcom characters and their own IPs showing up, oh, that pisses people off in Japan really hard. So anyway, those are two general principles that, as I understand, are the stuff that have pissed Capcom off in the past. When modders go out and they're like, hey, you gotta pay me. You gotta do this, I have a Patreon for Capcom mods. Capcom mods specifically to make naked characters. That's where Capcom goes, what? What are you doing? You are taking money from people to change the way our characters look in our game and mass distributing it. Excuse me? That shit will immediately grab the attention of Capcom bigwigs across seas and locally. What I'm trying to explain is that these situations are not the same. And I truly hope that I'm not stepping on the toes and really pissing people off at Capcom or Marvel. I really hope. I would like to think that they would look at someone like me and a project like this, and this just benefits positive outlook and good health for Marvel vs. Capcom as a franchise in a whole. That's all I hope. My goal is just to get people to like every facet of MVC. I love Marvel vs. Capcom. It is my baby next to Killer Instinct, you know? So all I want is for people to love MVC games. I like them to play the old ones. We're getting that. Capcom is literally giving us that. Marvel 3, Marvel 3 modding scene has existed for 5+ years, and they've added like 50 to 100 characters to the game, dude. So if they're gonna take our thing down, they would have taken that down ages ago. That would have gone away ages ago. We're adding new Marvel characters to it and shit. Marvel's not cool with that, but it still exists. All this is doing is promoting good community health. All it's doing is promoting people to go buy copies of Marvel 3. So again, compared to H2M, these are very different situations. These games are not actively monetized in a modern day situation. I would like to think that Capcom and Marvel games would be thrilled. They would just be thrilled that more people are buying their properties and looking at the stuff that they made and finding more people getting enjoyment out of its gameplay systems and the cool stuff. That's my whole goal, man. My whole goal is to make MVCI fucking cool. My whole goal is to remind you guys, hey, this game was actually kind of sick. It didn't look great, but what if it looks great? Maybe you'll actually see that it's kind of sick, and it's already happening. Okay? It's already happening. So all I have to say at the end of this entire thing is that Capcom and Marvel games are completely within their legal right to take my shit down. and to stop us from working on this project immediately. They absolutely can. They also have the right to stop me from streaming their games. They also have the right to stop me from making videos of their games, as well as every other company that distributes anything. They are completely in their legal right to stop me from making videos about their stuff, and I would have to go to court to argue that. I'd like to say I think we're gonna be okay.